What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the DC Collectibles, DC Essentials, Knightfall Batman. And so here we have Knightfall Batman posing out of the packaging. Unfortunately, Knightfall Batman comes with absolutely nothing. No batarangs, no alternate hands. So it's just a Batman figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Knightfall Batman, and I'm just going to refer to him as Batman from this point on because Knightfall is just a story, and this is where this Batman is derived from, with a bright blue cowl and bright blues. I'm really not a fan of bright blue Batman. If it's going to be blue, it has to be like a really dark blue or even like a navy blue. Bright blue, it just doesn't do it for me, and I've never been a fan of the bright blue costume. Now, that's not saying it's a bad costume, it's just not my personal taste. Now, as far as a head sculpt on Batman goes, it's a really good Batman sculpt. It's a damn good Batman head sculpt. That looks just like Batman, especially back in the 90s when he had the longer ears. Really do like that, and there's no question that this does look like Batman, and even the scowl looks good. Really do like the fact that they did paint his face, although a little bit of blue is showing through, so there is that. I wish they had done just a few more coats here. Head sculpt is done really well. Besides the head sculpt, this is a figure we have seen in the past. It uses the exact same body as all the other DC Essential figures, so there's nothing new on this figure besides the head. The paint is done really cleanly. You can see the emblem is really nice and clean, although it is a little bit scuffed right there. It's clean in terms of it's not bleeding over into the costume, so that's a really good thing. The cape does drape over his shoulders, and they actually use a harder material for his cape. It's not as flexible as it was on the Rebirth Batman. I don't know why they changed it to this thicker material, because as you can see, it's taking a lot of force for me to bend it, and the other capes haven't done that, so I don't know why they went with the thicker cape. I think to offset the figure's balance, but it makes it more back heavy, so I don't know. They did even give him new gauntlets. These are the exact same gauntlets we saw with the Rebirth Batman. Batman didn't have armored gauntlets until after the 2000s, so this is completely inaccurate. Really do love this classic utility belt. It's just a yellow utility belt. I kind of wish that they had done some gold accents on it, especially right here on the buckle, because it is a little bit jarring just having a white or a yellow belt going all the way around. And the fact that we're almost through with his detail just shows how lackluster of a figure he is without any accessories, because they could have easily given him a grapnel gun to put on the back of his outfit no matter what. The trunks are blue, and you can see they did paint a little bit on the top. Really wish they don't do that, because when you move the figure around, well, I guess this Batman isn't too bad, but there are some figures when you move it, it just doesn't look clean, but they did a good job with it. The grays do match, so I do like that, and then we get to his boots, which are the standard Batman boots. And you can see he does have treads on them, so really good. Again, it's nothing we haven't seen before because it's the same DC Essentials body, same Batman body, so really not too much to talk about. So let's actually compare him to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Batman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Batman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Batman posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And so here we have Knightfall Batman posed next to the NECA 2-pack Batman and the DC Collectibles Essentials Rebirth Batman. And finally here we have Knightfall Batman posed next to the Knightfall Catwoman. And so with comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation, in which he does have the standard Essentials articulation. His head is on a ball joint, and it sits really high on the peg. I've already taken off the cape, and it's a really long ball peg, so it does move up and down, no problem. It does turn left and right, and we do have some really nice head tilt. It is on a hinge, so it does look down, looks up even more, so that's pretty good. Arms would do a full 360, but again, this is not the softest cape in the world, so it does get stuck around there. Gets stuck about there, and then you can see it starts lifting up. Arms do go out to the side, only to about there. We do have a bicep swivel, which works no problem. Double jointed elbow works no problem, giving us much better than 90 degrees. Swivel and hinge at the wrist, although the hinge is kind of stuck on mine, but it does work. You just have to heat it up a little bit. We do have an ab crunch, which does crunch forward, and it's really stiff on mine. Crunches back, about there. Again, really stiff on mine. Yours might not have that issue. Waist swivel, although his belt does seem to get in the way. Legs do kick forward to about there. Kick back, go out to the side, all the way horizontal. No issue there. Thigh swivel. We have a double bend in the knee, which works pretty good. It does get a lot of range, and it's a little bit stiff, so you might want to heat that up. Boot swivel works fine. Leg moves forward and back, no problem. Rotates, and then we do have forward facing, or a rotation right here for rocker ankle. So overall, really good articulation on Batman. Just kind of wish he did come with accessories. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to my final thoughts. And so here we do have the Essentials Batman pose for my final thoughts, and overall, it's another great addition to have in your Batman collection. Now, unfortunately, he does reuse a lot of the same parts that we've seen in the past, with the exception being his hands are actually different, new head sculpt, and the belt. It's still another Batman figure, and there's tons of other figures I think DC Collectibles could have made instead of giving us another Batman. I don't know, I think they could have done without this Batman, although having him in hand, he does have really nice colors, and I do have to give them credit on that. The bat symbol is really nice, so again, there's things to like about this figure, but I feel we could have done with maybe a different character. Maybe Poison Ivy, or just somebody other than Batman, but overall, it's still a nice looking figure, and if you need another Batman in your collection, you might as well pick this guy up, because he does have a great color scheme. Even though it's not my favorite, I can still admit that he looks nice. If you are looking for Knightfall Batman, he is available at comic book stores and GameStop at the time of making this video. I was lucky enough to pick up my Batman from my local comic book store, so a huge shout out to Asylum Comics for getting this out to me so I could review it for you guys. This Batman will cost you anywhere from $22 all the way to $28, which is standard for the DC Essentials line. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Essential videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, don't forget to check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.